Hi everybody, I'm Savannah, and today I'm going to be reading you How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Let's see. By Dr. Seuss. Illustrated by Dr. Seuss. Okay, let's see. So, let's see. Okay. Every Who down in Whoville like Christmas a lot. But the Grinch who live just north of Whoville do not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think that mostly likely the reason of all may have been that his heart was too tight and too small. Okay, and this is the picture. Nah, he looks like he's mad about something. Okay. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted windows below their town. For the new every Who down in Whoville was the busy hanging from the Mr. Ruff, and they're hanging their stockings and staring with said, "Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here." Then he growled, the Grinch fingers nervously drumming. "I must find a way to stop Christmas from coming." For tomorrow, he knew, all the girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys, and then all the noise. That's one thing he hated. The noise. Just a picture. Okay. Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down for a feast. And then they'd feast, and they'd feast, and feast, and feast. Feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand the least. Here's a picture. Okay. And then they do something he'd like least of all. A Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. And they'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing. And more the Grinch thought of this Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? So that's the picture of all the Who's singing. And I know what the Grinch is probably going to do. But guys, what do you think the Grinch is going to do? Pause this video and think about it. Are you done thinking about it? Well, let's finish with the book. Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. Oh no. The Grinch has a wonderful, awful idea. Look at that Grinchy smile. Oh, he is so out-of-fashion. He doesn't even have clothes on. Oh no, he has clothes on. I know just what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat. He made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. He he chuckled and chuckled. What a great Grinchy trick. With his coat and his hat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer. But the Grinch looked around, and since reindeer there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said. If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog mask and put some red thread and tied a big thorn on the top of his head. A big horn on the top of Max's head. Oh, that's horrible. Why would old Grinch do this? Probably because he has put up with it for 53 years. And then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks. What? Old? That might make dust on the presents. Some old empty sacks on a room full stacks high and hide up old Max. And then the Grinch said, "Gallop!" And then the sleigh started toward the homes where the Who's laid snooze in their town. Can you see the picture from here? With this Grinch, I put up him too. As he put up for 53 years, I put up with the Grinch. He's me. And their windows were dark and quiet. Snow filled the air. All the Who's were dreaming sweet dreams without care. And he came to the first little house on the square. This is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed. And he climbed up the roof, empty bags in his fist. Empty bags? Oh no, he's not going to steal the presents, is he? Oh no, this is not good. I don't know about this Grinch. As he put up with for it for 53 years, I put up with him for like 3 years because I had this book since I was 4. Okay. Then he slid down the chimney in a rather tight pitch. But if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two, and then he got stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little stockings all hung in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are first things to go. Wait, so you're telling me he's stealing all the ornaments too and not just the presents? Oh, this Grinch! This Grinch. And then he slithered and slumped. They smiled unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Checkerboard, tingles, popcorn, and plums, and he stuffed them in the bags. The Grinch very nippily stuffed in the bags by one up the chimney. What? Ugh! I hate this Grinch. He's just mean. But we gotta keep going through this book. And then he slumped to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He climbed out of the icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took their last can of Who stash! I don't like this. I like the story and all, but except for the beginning because it's rude at the beginning. It's supposed to be happy, annoying, and then happy again. And then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree! Oh, this is so rude! I hate Grinch. But we have to keep reading the story. Okay, let's see. Okay. And the Grinch grabbed the tree and started to shove. When he heard a small sound, like a coo of a dove, and he turned around fast, and he saw a small who, little Cindy Lou, who was not then more too. The Grinch had been caught by a tiny Who daughter, who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, "Santa Claus, why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?" Cindy Lou sounds cute. I love Cindy Lou. She's really cute. Especially when she's 2. Come on. Turn the page. I can't turn the page. Sorry. Okay. But do you know why that old Grinch was so smart and so slick? He thought up a lie, and he thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, the fake Santa Claus lied. There was a light on this tree that won't light on one side, so I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, and then I'll bring it back here. Not! And then he fooled the child, and then he patted her head, and he got her a drink and sent her to bed. And then Cindy Lou, who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed up the tree. I hate the Grinch, but we have to keep reading the story. Let's see. Here, guys, I can come closer. Okay, let's see. And then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. And then he went up the chimney himself. The old liar. On the walls was nothing but hooks and some wire. And then the speck of a food that was left in the house was a club that was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Wow, I don't like this Grinch, but like I said, we have to keep reading the book. Then he did the same thing to the other whose houses. What? Leaving the crumbs much too small for the other whose mouses. Like, there's the crumb. I know you can't see it on camera, but there's a crumb and there's a mouse. The crumb's too small for the mouse to eat. This Grinch. It was quicker. It was quieter past dawn. It was quicker past dawn. All the who's still in bed. All the who's still a snooze when he packed up his sled. Packed up with their presents. The ribbons, the wrappings, the tapings, the tinsel, the trimming, the trappings. I just don't like this Grinch. I know what they mean by trapping. Some who's went to trap the Santa Claus. Yeah. Three hits up. He slid down Mount Crumpet. He rode with load tip top to dump it. Pooh pooh to the who's the Grinch ash lying. They were walking up I know what I'll do I know what they'll do. Their mouths will hang up in a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry boo-hoo. I don't think so, Grinch. I don't think they're gonna cry. Guys, comment down below if you think the Who's are gonna cry. I don't think so. Because the Who's are always happy. They're filled with cheer. So I don't think they're gonna cry. And a noise, grinned the Grinch, I simply must hear. So passed up the Grinch, and the Grinch put his hand up to his ear and did hear a sound ringing over the snow. It started low and then started to grow. Uh-oh, I think I was right. Oh, the Grinch looked shocking! But the sound wasn't sad. Why, the sound suddenly merry. It could be so, but it was merry very. He started down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes in a shock. What he saw was a shocking surprise. So that's why it looks like a shocker. It's like, ah! Yeah, I think Grinch learned. Okay. Every who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came somewhere or another. It just came, just the same. And they're singing. They're like, whoa! And the Grinch with his Grinch feet, ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. The Grinch thought, and he puzzled for 3 hours until his puzzle was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he didn't think of before. Maybe, he thought, it doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. Oh, Grinch is learning his true colors and his heart. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say, that's the Grinch. That the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes that day, and the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his loud through merry morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And what did he do next? He himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beef. There he is, carving the roast beef, and there's Cindy Lou Who, and then there's Max. Oh no, that's Max. I thought it was Max for a second. And then that is it. Well, everybody, that was How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. Hope you give this video a big like and subscribe to Savannah and other things. And I'm gonna give a shout out to one of my classmates, Michael. Wait, actually it's 3. So the first one is Michael, second one Juliet, and then third Isabel. If you are watching this right now, Michael, Juliet, and Isabel, I hope you check out Believer and all my other videos. So yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the post notification. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!